It's nice to be with you here in Los Angeles. I was saying last night at the Living Temple when we did the talk that LA plays a big role in my life. When I first was sort of brought into the public eye, and believe me, that wasn't by my own intention. Of course, I've researched these things for years, as Wendy has said, but I never thought I was actually going to do it publicly. And when life or destiny or what have you threw me into the public eye around the year 2000, it was actually in LA that I began. So, you know, it's been 3 years that Robin has wanted to bring me down here to his wonderful forum, and also here at the Granada Forum. So it's been a long time in the making, but again, especially for me, it's quite important and significant that I'm back in LA after so many years. So it's great to be with you all. We're going to actually start with a little clip. I want to show a video clip from John Greenwald first to set the stage of the presentation today. So we can, with no further ado, run the DVD. Ted, whenever you want. Okay. This will sort of just preview some of what we're going to go into tonight.
We found the weapons of mass destruction. We found biological laboratories.
Everybody knows that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction.
I have every reason to believe that the intelligence that we were operating off was correct.
No question, we have said that Saddam Hussein possesses biological and chemical weapons.
We know where they are. They're in the area around Tikrit and Baghdad and east, west, south, and north somewhat.
All this will be made clear in the course of the operation for whatever duration it takes.
Are you confident that you'll also find weapons of mass destruction?
I believe we will find evidence of the programs of chemical and biological weapons, yes.
How about the actual weapons?
Well, I just don't know. Let's wait and see what the team that's over there...
Actions continue with our new exploitation teams that have been brought in.
And that we will in fact find weapons or evidence of weapons programs that are conclusive.
It is somewhat puzzling, I think, that you can have 100% certainty about the weapons of mass destruction's existence and zero certainty about where they are.
Do you agree? And does it matter whether or not you find those weapons?
We might ask the Prime Minister that. We won't be proven wrong.
This is a process that takes some time, and it will ebb and flow.
One thing we know is that he had a weapons program.
I don't know anybody that I can think of who has contended that the Iraqis had nuclear weapons.
We believe he has, in fact, reconstituted nuclear weapons.
But on the specific issue of weapons of mass destruction, it's going to take time, and we're going to have to be patient.
Over time, the truth will come out.
Now, it's going to take time to find anything because people
will find that we presented a solid case, a case that is there and was there and will remain there.
It's going to take a period of time to find the people. I don't think we'll discover anything myself.
Still thought that 3.5 months for new inspections was a rather short time before cooling a day, and especially when we now see that they say, the U.S. government is saying that, look, you have to have a bit of patience, these things take time.
I believe that we will find the truth, and the truth is he was developing a program for weapons of mass destruction.
I think what will happen is we'll discover people who will tell us where to go find it.
You're not going to find it simply in a house-to-house search. You're going to find it when people start to talk to you.
It is not like a treasure hunt where you just run around looking everywhere hoping you find something. I just don't think that's going to happen. The inspectors didn't find anything, and I doubt that we will.
Are people going to find out the truth? And the truth will say that this intelligence is good intelligence, no doubt in my mind.
What we will do is find the people who will tell us. There are a lot of people who lie and get away with it, and that's just a fact.
He has not developed any significant capability with respect to weapons of mass destruction. He is unable to project conventional power against his neighbors.
We are able to keep arms from him. His military forces have not been rebuilt.
Is U.S. credibility on the line over weapons of mass destruction in Iraq?
I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Thanks to John Greenwald. That was from John Greenwald's Uncovered the War in Iraq. It's just recently been released. So thanks to John Greenwald for that little clip. What was that clip shown for? sad to say, your president is a liar. The administration is a liar. Who are these people? What are they doing in power? How do they get there? The first thing we need to understand about this is that, of course, these individuals are not particularly from this country. You may be nationally an American, but that does not mean that you actually serve this country. And that's the thing that we have to really clarify for people. Because they speak in American accents and they may even say, hey, I was born here. But these people have allegiances to other forces that you're not meant to know about. And we are now in the age where we're going to know about those allegiances. Because these people are servants of Vatican, these people are servants of the British royal family, and their job is to undermine and destroy the greatest country on the face of the earth. And they're doing an excellent job at it. And there's reasons for that, and we're going to look at those reasons. They have a mandate that's been handed down hundreds of years ago, actually from the inception of the country. And it is to target this country and make sure that it does not rise to the glory that it is capable of. And unfortunately, as I said, they're doing a marvelous job at it. They will receive their pats on the backs. They've already received their knighthoods from Her Majesty the Queen. I mean, that's documented. But what have they really done? You see, inner atrocities that happen within the confines of America, and Waco jumps to mind, but the Randy Weaver case, and we all know there's many more. The information that Ted Gunderson, John DeCamp have gone through, we understand that there's enormous injustices that have taken place in America. But you see, what you have to realize is that doesn't really send many ripple effects abroad. It doesn't put people, realizing that there's jeopardy in the United States. That's just America's problem. So these inner atrocities, they don't resonate around the world. A tragedy, therefore, had to be devised that would ruin the U.S. reputation globally. And that is what has happened. America is not now known as a country that doesn't honor international law, human rights, or religious freedom. And American tourists are going to pay for that. It's the famous sabotage from within. As the Roman philosopher and statesman Cicero said, a murderer is less to be feared. They already warned us about it. As President Mubarak said, he has never seen such anti-American feeling being as strong as it is today throughout the world. So if you wanted enemies, you've got them now. Because Al-Qaeda is a fiction created by what you jokingly call neocons. Neocons are just a catchphrase used by the other side. It really doesn't have much meaning at all. A neocon is a skull and bones man, is what a neocon is. A neocon is a Straussian, a follower of the philosophy of Leo Strauss and other demagogues like that who prefer not to come in front of the camera. A neocon is a Russell Trust agent and a Freemason. And they are themselves lieutenants for other powers. And their job was to create enemies of America. They are enemies already on domestic soil, and now their job was to create foreign enemies with the idea that this country is beset by enemies and is thought of wrongly and is considered wrongly. Well, why not? The proof is there, isn't it? I've said in my other works, and Anthony and Jordan have gone into this, that these individuals are obviously related to the dynasties of old. Father George and his wife Barbara are both descendants of Godefroy de Bouillon, who in 1099 was leading European noblemen in a successful crusade to recapture Jerusalem from the Islamic faith and moved into the king's palace there at Temple Mount. And Godefroy was the first king of Jerusalem and the Duke of Lower Lorraine, a major region of the Illuminati bloodline. Bush is closely related to every European monarch on and off the throne and has kinship with every member of Britain's royal family, the House of Windsor. But the Windsor is again a catchphrase. Windsor had to be created because they all had such thick German accents that the British people were going to wonder, who is this that's just moved in here at Buckingham bloody palace? No, it's Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. Right? It's the Guelph dynasty. It's the Habsburgs and the Hanoverians that is behind the Windsors. And when the red phone rings, Bush jumps. He's related to her daughter, Queen Elizabeth. So, want to know who's behind Bush? There it is. And he is 13th cousin once removed from the heir of the throne, Prince Charles. These are oligarchs. These are aristocrats. And of course, because of the wars and the rise of rebellion, they can't operate openly anymore from the throne and hang people in the streets like they used to do in my country, where the nobleman, the lord, would literally stand on his balcony and watch the rebels being hung, drawn, and quartered. They know if they try that, they'll be overthrown. So they change tactics just a little bit and put people that are